Hi there guys, Ash here, ready for a new DIY one-to-one class. So today's DIY one-to class, all we've got now is obviously we've got our goal involved. The setup, we're looking at 6 cones. I've got 1, 2, 3 cones a yard apart here, and I've got 3 cones here. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, that's our setup. 1 football, 1 goal. Let's get ourselves warmed up. To each cone, and back, keeping our heels off the floor, working forwards and back, working forwards and back. Good stuff.
Lots and lots of little steps as we're changing direction. We don't need to add too much pace as of yet. Make sure your body is always facing the cone you're going towards.
Cone to the side step to the middle, and then we're going to work backwards to the goal. We're then going to work to the opposite side of that cone, side steps across, working backwards to our goal, again working across.
Make sure you keep your body flat and facing forwards at all times. Here is the only time you will turn your body, and then you'll keep your body facing the same way until you get home.
Now is you're going to just progress that slightly, we're going to work all the way across. So still working to one side, but all we're looking to do now, working all the way across, back to the goal, stop here, work to the left. If you've worked to the right first, all the way across, then we're looking to work back, and work the other way again.
Again, not looking to run too fast, heels off the floor as we're working sideways. As it is a much bigger distance, we're looking to stride the side steps even bigger now, okay? Heels off the floor going sideways and backwards.
Again, then we're going to work forwards and backwards around our small cones here. We're going to keep our back to the cone that you went to first. Then you're going to work backwards to where you come from first, back to the start, working around the cone, again, keeping our back to that cone that I went around, forwards and backwards, moving around each cone, working backwards to the cone that I first went to, back to the start.
Good, stay close to the cones as we're turning. Loads and loads of tiny, tiny little steps, using the arms as well, heels off the floor as we're working here. As we work around, keep close to that cone, lots of little steps, my heels are off the floor. I should be using my arms a lot more. Keep your back to the cone and the little burst from back to forward. Superb, guys.
Run to the inside, side step to here. Now once we're here, we're going to go feet over the top. And I'm going to run back. Once we face these cones, we're going to turn and stop. Once we're back to the start, we're going to go sprint. Little shuffle, round that back of the cone. 1, 2 in each gap. Working backwards round the cones. Once you see all 3, turn. I'm not looking to add any pace, just a turn.
Good. Stay close to the cone here again, a bit sharper as we turn. Make sure we focus on getting those knees up off the floor over those cones. Again, as we work to the side, stay close and sharper. Loads and loads of big, lift them knees right up. As you see the cones, that's when we spin, but we're not looking to add speed yet. Focus on that spin.
To the middle cone first, then we're going to work to the sides, and we're going to come back really sharply. So it's 2 movements. If we go to the right, we're then going to turn to the back to the cone. We're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and back. Then we're going to keep working backwards to that cone. Just change the pace slightly back to the goal. Again, to the middle cone first, sides to sides, back to the cone. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Then we're looking to work back. And just change that pace just a little.
So jogging to that central cone, sharp side steps, 2 changes of direction. Get the back to the cone that you went to. Make sure you lift them feet right up. Don't stop the feet working. Superb. As we work around the other way, again to that middle cone, sharp to sharp, 2 changes of direction. Back to the cone that you went to. Lots and lots of steps. Lift those knees up, working back to forwards again.
work round to the sides. I'm just going to work side steps, facing forwards, really sharp through the cones. Really sharp forwards, working around, really sharp backwards, working around the opposite cone, always facing forwards. Then we're going to come back to where we came from just a second ago. Again, really sharp around all of the cones, in and out each gap. Then we're going to work opposite, working backwards, so always facing forwards now.
Make sure you face the cone here, and then bang, as soon as we go round, it's sharp. Loads and loads of small steps facing forwards. Just check your shoulders as you're working around, working to the opposite side, work back around to the start, and again, back to the cone we went to, then sharp. Here's we have to work sharp, loads and loads of steps. The more steps you can take, the better. Small turns of the body, just to make sure you can see the space. Superb.
Now, just in the box, walking around on your tiptoes to start, just to activate those calf muscles. Few little turns as well. Okay, just walking with hip. Every now and then, just a straight kick, little steps in between, straight kick, little steps in between. Good. 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 Work on the insides of our legs, we call opening the gate. Leg goes up, leg comes out, few steps in between, few steps in between, few steps in between, few steps in between. Loads. The more controlled the stretches are, the better they will be. We're going to work on our quad. All we're going to do is just jog on the spot. I'll show you from a sideways view, and we're just going to flick the heel to our bottom once every 3 steps. So just one, and it'll be the other leg next one, other leg next one, other leg next once, other leg once, other leg once. Okay? Legs wide apart, hands down onto the floor. Let's just have a walk over to our toes. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back across again to our other toes. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. Come back to the middle. Out in front. Hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4. Come back just behind the heels. Hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Bring the arms around the body. Rolling them around. And just individual, if you prepare yourself correctly, you're going to reduce the chance of getting yourself hurt / injured. So please take this sort of stuff seriously. To start with, all we're going to do is going to face one side through the cones, and all we're doing is we're going to shoulder the foot in between the gap, then working back, in between the gap, working back, in between the gap, and we're going to work backwards as well. Everything with the sole, lots of hopping with the right foot, and that's standing foot too. Of course, if we do right foot, we must do left foot too, making sure we're constantly bouncing, lots of little touches. Standing foot needs to be hopping, that is really important. Good.
Look at my standing foot. My standing foot is hopping just as much as my kicking foot. It is also, the heel is also off the floor. I'm taking lots of little steps. My body's always facing forwards, and I'm making sure that standing foot hops all the time. That's vitally important.
All we're looking at doing now is just going to go lace. We're just looking to go into each gap. We're using 3 parts of our foot. So we're going to go sole, outside, push with the laces. And then we're going to come back inside, push with the laces, sole. So we're using all 4 parts, but only 3 at a time. Then when we come back, obviously we'll keep doing one foot for 30 seconds. And then we're going to, when we change, again, inside, laces, sole. Inside, laces, sole. inside laces, sole, outside laces, sole, outside laces, sole, outside laces, sole. And we're looking to work inside.
Okay, back to right foot. Lots and lots of tiny little touches. So we're going sole, outside, push with those laces. As we come here, we're actually working the inside of the foot to work it back. Look at my body. I'm always making sure the ball stays in front. So as the ball goes backwards, I move backwards just as sharp with the ball. The ball needs to be in front at all times. Lots and lots of little running feet to keep your body under control.
Exercise with one foot. All we're going to do now is face the cones, and all we're going to do is just going to go in and out, in and out. We're going to constantly work around the 3 cones with one foot. So inside, outside, laces, outside. Try not to use the sole for this one. I just want the laces, the inside and the outside. Obviously, right foot. If we do that, we must do left foot too.
Loads and loads of running feet. Look how I'm really working my body around the ball. Again, try my hardest to keep it in front. Lots and lots of touches. I hope you can still take more than me. Just trying to show you in a slower way. Always working around that cone. Stay tight to the cones as you can.
I want your body to face each of the gaps. All we're doing as we turn around the cone, before we go through the cones, you need your body to be facing the gaps completely. Work around, face the gaps completely. Working around, face the gaps completely. Good stuff. So make sure we really work our body around those cones.
Really, really sharp running feet. Lots and lots of touches. Again, I'm really focusing on my shoulders facing the space between the cones before I go through. So I work around, then I face the gap, then I can then go through. Brilliant work, guys.
But we want to keep our body, again, facing each gap before we go through the 2 cones. You want to make sure we're facing before we go through. So face the gap, then work through. Face the gap, then work through. Look around the cones.
Both feet are always working. One foot is on the floor at one time. So please focus. Can you keep one foot on top of the ball, one foot on the floor, constantly changing? Again, like the penguins, focus on your body shape. Don't go through that gap until you've turned around the ball. Brilliant.
Side, drag it back. We're going to keep our body facing flat forward. All we're doing is working right foot all the time. When we get to here, we're going to work across the pitch, take a touch pass, looking to brush the ball into the goal. I'm not looking for a million miles an hour in our strike to start as a pass, not a shot. As soon as we get our ball, we're then looking to work back to the start, facing the goal, keeping our body flat. Obviously, other side means left foot time. Drag back, lots of touches, working across the pitch, touch pass, brushing into the goal. Get our...
Lots and lots of tiny touches. My body is facing forward. My feet are the thing doing the work across the box, brush that ball. As we're passing, first of all, think about your standing foot being next to the ball. Okay, keep the body facing forward, loads of little touches, sole, outside, laces. As we work across, look where my left foot's passing, so right foot's next to the ball. The closer my right foot is to the ball, the more control of the pass I will have.
So we're still going to work on right foot only. We're going to go drag inside, drag across our body, take a touch. Drag open, drag inside, take a touch to the next gap. Drag open, let it roll away, drag, touch. When we get to here, we're going to pretend to go across. We're going to go drag, take that touch past the cone, brush that ball into the goal. Okay, get our ball again. If we've worked our right foot, got to be working our left foot too. So again, drag across our body, take a touch. The open body lets the ball go away. Across the body is 2 touch. Open body, across the body, touch, touch, come back away, touch past the cone, rush into the goal.
So back onto right foot only now. Open body, enclosed. But look, every time my body shape's facing, look where my head is facing, cones to away from the cones. Facing the cones, away from the cones. Okay? The more touches you can take in between, the better. Hopefully, unlike me, you'll score your goal. As we come back, obviously straight to left foot. My body is always changing the way it's facing before I do my next skill. Okay? Don't be afraid to let the ball roll away from your body. Come back, touch pass, standing foot next to the ball, brush it into the goal. Well done, Ash.
We're going to do here now, facing again. We're going to go push past the cones, nutmeg turn, touch through the next gap, nutmeg turn, touch through the next gap, nutmeg turn. When we get to here, all we're going to do is we're going to go to this middle cone. It's going to be a short little drag across to our opposite foot. Again, starting from the top, facing the other side. So left foot was my first shot there. Nutmeg turn, take a touch. Nutmeg turn, take a touch. Nutmeg turn, take a touch. Nutmeg turn, touch round the middle cone.
Good, nice shot. Nutmeg, make sure you're in front of the ball before you turn. In front of the ball, turn. Nutmeg, touch, finish. Now with that finish, this proves you don't need to go past a defender to get your shot off. All you need is a bit of space next to the defender. So let's watch that again. So I go past the defender, nutmeg turn, tiny bit of space round the defender to bury it.
All we're looking at doing here now is we're going to go pull, push to the opposite side of the cone. Then we're going to go Ronaldo chop to come back around. When we get to here, we can now go through the next gap. The Ronaldo chop needs to come back to where we came from. Into the next gap, pull, push, take that touch. The chop has to come back to where we came from, dribble through. Now we're here, we're going to go pull, push, around that middle cone. Can we brush it into the goal? Obviously I can't. Obviously once we've done our right foot, the first thing we're going to do is next thing we're going to do is our left, pull, push, Ronaldo chop back behind that cone, dribble across, sole to sole, dribbling across, Ronaldo chop back through that gap, 1 to 2, Ronaldo chop through the gap, 1, 2, finish.
Again, focus on where your body's facing. So every time I do my skill, my shoulders are facing a different direction. We know that we can only go through the next gap after the sole to sole pull push, gain your half a yard, get your shot off. Get your ball back quickly, back to the start. As you guessed it, left, left, sole to sole, left, chop, back around the cone. You can only go through the next gap after you've done the sole to sole. Chop skis, back into the middle, sole to sole, finish past the defender. Excellent work.
Next exercise, all we're going to do, let's start with our right foot first. We're going to go over and out to come behind the cone, L behind the cone too. Over and out is going to take you through the next gap. L has to go through the same gap. Over and out through the next gap, back to the L. Now we find ourselves here. We're then going to go over and out, straight into an L, touch past the cone, rush it into the goal. Again, over, out, take that touch. L needs to stay behind the cone. The over and out is going to take you through the gap. L to bring it back across, over and out again. L brings you back out, over, out, into the L, touch past the cone, rush with the right foot.
Over and out, touch through the gap. Again, look where my body is. My body is always changing the way it's facing. L, I'm facing sideways. Over and out, I'm facing the other way. Back round with the L, touch in front, brush the ball into the goal. We'll get our ball back to the top. Again, really focus on our body shape. Where are we facing? Loads of small touches in between. Can you stay close to the cones? Can you do your skill sharp? Nice and tight. Plenty of touches. Bang, bang, 1, 2, 3, touch and finish.
We'll go with our right foot, we'll go across. We're going to go roll, trap behind our other foot. After we've done this, we're going to go flip to flap, staying behind the cone. We're going to work again, we're going to go roll, back, behind. It's the Busquets Ronaldo chop. Over to here, we're going to go flip to flap to come back through the same gap. Roll, trap, come back across. As we dribble through again, we all look at doing goes over the top to come back through the same gap. Then we're going to go roll behind our leg again, the Busquets roll trap. Then we're going to come to here, flip, flap, just past the defender to get our shots off. Of course, if we do our right foot, must do our left foot as well. So roll, trap back across, flip flap behind the same cone. Now I'm looking to work forwards into the next gap, flip to flap, working behind that cone again. Now I can come forward, roll trap good, flip the flap to come back round, take that touch, roll trap in front of the cone, roll over, tap back, then we're looking to shoot.
So roll and then behind our other leg like a chop almost. We need a bit more space to do that skill. Then we work through the gap. Flip flap, we stay in the same gap. Roll trap, we can move forward. Over the top, we come back. Then we're going through the same gap. Behind our other leg, flip flap, touch and finish. Okay, get our ball, obviously go straight back to our left foot. So left foot, roll, Busquets trap, over the top and flip flap. Push away, tap behind, flip to flap over the top of the ball, using the inside and outside. On that flip flap, your foot does not leave contact of the ball. Then we go roll trap, flip to flap, touch, bang into the goal. Well done.
Stop, step, take that touch to come back. As we come back here, all I want to see here is just trap across our body behind that same cone again. Stop, step, touch through the next gap, and it's going to be a big inside trap across the body, staying through that same gap. Stop, step, touch, make believe like a little tiny little face pass back through that same gap. Then we're going to go stop, step, touch. We're then going to go all the way back across the cone behind us to brush it into the goal, hopefully in the goal. Right foot two, stop, step, touch, and all it is a really sharp across our body to turn as well. Stop, step, touch, dribble through, really sharp across our body, stay through that gap. This side we move forward this time, inside trap, turn across, stop, step, and then we're going to go inside trap, take that touch, push it past, brush it into the... It's just a tiny push forward with that ball. It's the foot that's closest to the goal, which is the foot that is going to do the turning for you. So as I push, this foot goes to the side, and now I'm facing this way. We drop the shoulder here, take that touch. We're going to drop the shoulder here, 1, 2, 3, and then get our shots off.
Okay, back to our other way. Right foot spins the ball, right foot drop the shoulder. As we're facing drop, drop, double feint, finish the strike off.
And out fake to come back across. You're going to go touch. We're then, after we've taken that touch, you're then going to go soft touch, tap behind the cone to get your shot off.